Yes, those are the updates, but now it's time for the most important part of the week. It is, of course, the indie of the week. And this
Yay.
week, it's Wereweevil Miniatures, which in and of itself is a great name for a company
A
because,
little bit of a tongue twister.
I mean, nobody really worries about werewolves or werebears these days. Wereweevils are where it's at. Now, he is Australian. That's our first caveat. Marcus Blackman, which means whenever you see any prices in dollars and go, oh my God, that's ridiculous, it's Australian dollars, different exchange rate, lower than I believe the US dollar. And secondly, wereweevils probably exist. Everything else doesn't in Australia between the drop bears and the EU armies and all the rest. So this is just something else that you should be avoiding when in
See,
the
you're
Antipodes.
reading it Wereweevil. I'm reading it Wereweevil.
That makes less sense, but sure, you do you. It has to be an animal.
Okay.
Animal. Wereweevil. Anyway, so this is a range of 28mm resin cast miniatures from Marcus that he's been working on and off for a few years now. Now, in fact, we'll stay here and I'll just scoot down because when you see them, they are very old hammer aesthetic-y, which is where this sort of springs from. And obviously the old hammer community is massive. In fact, it was Josh from the Crown of Command podcast who went, have you seen these to me? And I went, I have not. I'm so glad that you've introduced me to them. He is working on a game, The Spire of Apophis, which is good because I've been watching a lot of Stargate recently, which will use all of the miniatures that you're going to be seeing in some sort of weird infectious spire type of thing. So think creepy necromunda, creepy termite mound. Do weevils live in mounds? Some sort of creepy spire?
I don't even know what a weevil is.
They're tiny little bugs that get into things like flour and corn and maize and stuff. And
okay.
You end up with weevily biscuits. You've seen Master and Commander. You must always choose the lesser of two weevils. You're going to say you haven't, aren't you?
I haven't.
Oh my God. Master and Commanders are fantastic. Even if you don't like
John Shea, yay, nay?
I haven't watched Master and Commander.
Oh, it gladiator on a boat.
Yeah.
Think sharp, but as a captain of a ship during that sort of Trafalgar era. So
I think I've seen the trailer for it. Are they like chasing another ship?
They are being chased and chasing another ship. All of the above. It's a great book series as well. Anyway,
sounds like every ship movie ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless they're chasing a monster or attempting to raise the Titanic, that's kind of what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, so the Wereweevil range, I suppose you could split into orcs, chaos, and dwarves, bracketing loosely. And if you are of a certain vintage, which none of you children are, oh my God. Where's Warren? At least if Warren was here, he's slightly older and one step closer to the grave than me, I wouldn't feel so bad. But back in the day, there were a whole range of bots, especially the orcs used to make these little stunt bot type things that were based on Eldar and Space Marines and stuff. So these kind of have that feel where you get some orcish looking bots as well. So you can sort of drop these things in as killer cans or knob boy units or that sort of thing. But I'm quite intrigued as to his plans for the Spire game where you are attempting to infect or disinfect. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to other pictures. There we go. But things like this, I mean, it's like a tiny little Kinder Surprise of Doom coming at you with all the guns. Just magic those.
Illegal in America.
Yes. Well, not the guns, obviously, the Kinder Surprise part.
Yes.
Yeah. Because chocolate and a surprise. Why would you ever give that to a child?
Cooking hazards.
Look how utterly adorable he is. So a dreadnought orky robot. They are a delightful set of unusual figures, but I think the ones that really appealed to me the most, beyond the egg bots and egg commanders, are when he starts getting into the chaosy bits, because they are just a whole other level. Look at the tiny egg robots.
It's so adorable.
It's like a little stumpy Vader.
It is 100% little stumpy Vader. Can I open you a new one, and will I get a top and a bottom to that picture? No,
No, you won't.
It's been photographed by me, but now you can see the feet and the heads, so that's
Yeah.
good. Let's go back to the picture. I mean, Vader telling you can rule the galaxy like egg and eggless.
I find your lack of yolk disturbing.
That's terrible. I love
Yes, it is.
I love it so much.
Look,
Look,
kick him.
it's a Mark I Terminator where the shoulder pads joined up at the top for reasons best known to whoever did the initial concept artwork of that, because I'm fairly certain they couldn't move.
Most likely, they probably looked at it with most of the ones these days and go, if you shrug, you're going to squish your head. Tell you what, let's arc them up over the top. You can shrug all day.
I think it was just to stop fire going past you and hitting people behind you. If you actually filled the silhouette of a corridor in Terminator armor, then, I mean, you were just one more barrier.
See, seeing these, it makes sense how, they can only go single file in a Space Hulk.
Well, that's the nice thing about tactical dreadnought armor. But here we have some of the angrier types. So your cornate jugger egg coming at you like Cleopatra down Main Street.
He's so tiny.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's 25 by 70 mil base. So, about 50 mil in length? So that's it's more or less the correct size for Juggernaut before GW started expanding everything so you couldn't rank them up anymore for reasons best known to themselves. Not that I'm better. I am still better. Why have they made old world bases bigger?
Yeah, this feels like this fella loves old school squats.
He just was like, I need more squats. There aren't any, so I'll make them.
I respect it.
And there aren't any Chaos squats mounted on Steeds of Slaanesh. Charlie. That's what's going on there. Look at it. Could you imagine that lancing away at you? I mean, it would give you nightmares.
I don't really want to.
Oh, it's a whole Galvy bucket of extreme bizarre eggness. Including this one on what appears to be a base of
Extremely angry. Yeah, extremely angry eye.
Like Skippy the Eye Child. For all the Garth Marenghi fans out there. Back on tour. Just saying. I mean, there's a game coming up soon from Osprey called the Doomed. I was going to say the Damned, but that's Captain Sensible. That's different. The Doomed, and it's a post-apocalyptic monster weirdo help me skirmish game. No miniatures for it, but I mean, if something like that was coming out of an irradiated forest, I can imagine that that's the sort of thing that you're going to have to beat to death with a 2x4 and a couple of nails through it, or even this. I mean, is that some sort of tongue, or is that another protuberance, or is it its foot?
It has to taste which direction you went.
Oh, that's not good. I'd start swinging through trees like a orangutan.
It's like a Roomba. Just goes across.
Just a Roomba of death. Have a look at some of our Chaos egg squats. Look at them.
Cool.
It's a ridiculous concept, and I'm 100% on board with it.
I love it so much.
Jerry approves this message.
I mean, anybody who had the original squats and exo armor, they were essentially eggs with massive, massive shoulders, and occasionally you put them on bikes so they could actually reach something before the game ended, which was always good. And I'm sad that the modern game doesn't have squats. It has these, what are they called? Leagues of Votan.
Yeah.
Which some people may think are squats. They're not squats. What's going on with all this high-tech sci-fi nonsense? Squats were fat, bald men on bikes, and occasionally they wore egg armor. Look at the beaky face on him.
Yeah. See, I was almost expecting Jerry to turn around and go, why do they have knees? They shouldn't have knees.
Well, yeah, no, they shouldn't have knees. They should just be a pair of boots glued straight to the arse of an egg. And that is what I'm seeing here in all its cornate goodness. Skulls.
See, look at it this way, Jerry. They're so round, you can probably just say they have a higher speed stat because they just roll downhill.
I don't know which one went away, but one of them went away. There's another eyeball. It's just bizarre. I will. Ooh, I have to open that because he's on his delightful flying Zinch disc. But I need to find the regular squats and orcs. Although the rotten sewer grub set is quite nice. Look at him! Look at him on his flying little disc, going from town to town, apologizing for that time Steve Irwin got stabbed up by a stingray. That's what he does. That is his job in life.
The Herald of I'm Sorry.
Yep. I mean,
Give him a big maple leaf on his cape. Like a Canadian.
oh, that is even terribler than I thought. That's great. And then we have some of the orcs. So orcs, less egg-like. I mean, not
less
everything
well
can be an
fed,
egg, apparently. You know, but it has that classic late 80s, early 90s feel where it looks like it's just taking a stop sign down. This is my backbone. Here's how this one goes.
Were they as scrawny as that back in the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It feels very first Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
They've put a green mask on some guy and just said, right, action.
Yeah. Bobby, today you're playing an orc. A what? That's it. Keep that up.
That's it. Perfect. Do that.
Some of the Imperial Eggbots and Swarf. So Swarf's presumably Squat Dwarf. Swarf. So I don't know whether or not he's contacted Lloyd for his naming convention of portmanteauing words together. But there we have could be a mortar or could be one of the old school mole mortars, which if you don't remember were great because they just burrowed underneath defenses and then came up and exploded from below.
If you angle it back a bit and stick a box on the end of it, it's a las cannon.
Oh yeah. It's got the cut off.
Yeah. Just pour it out, off you go.
If Tim was around, Disney's The Black Hole, there were a couple of little robots that looked not dissimilar to that, although I'm fairly certain there was actually a mono-wheeled robot that looks identical to that in another kid's cartoon, but I'm damned if I can remember it. But I seem to remember yellow and black featuring heavily in the paint job of it. But look at him coming at you on his tiny little mono-wheel.
Was that a robot from DuckTales or something? Or something, it was of that ilk.
Oh, Launchpad played some sort of Roboduck.
Yeah.
I say played, he was.
Yeah.
In spare time.
Mild New Vegas vibes, what do you think, Shay?
I was actually thinking that.
From the Protectrons. Yeah, okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I'd be a New Vegas army. Oh, God.
Well, you picked up some stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's not New Vegas. It's not the same, John.
It's fine.
That was good.
Oh.
Okay.
There's some of the runt bots and a tiny Swarf Commissar.
The Commissar is fantastic.
He's so perfectly proportioned. The worst thing is he's a very similar pose to the actual recent GW plastic one, but yeah, he still looks way better.
Yeah, but you can imagine him being knee-high, screaming at guardsmen to get forward.
Oh, perfect.
He can't see where forward is.
Well, it's that direction, isn't it?
He's sort of half Brian Blessed, half the commander from Das Boat.
Right.
Jurgen. There's one of our stunt bot type things.
Oh, I want that painted up as an angry marine.
These were just great back in the day. There's a Termineg stunt bot as well. Orc bot, they call them here. But those bots were great. Did they ever I know they brought bots back in, what do you call it? The new iteration of Blackstone Fortress Space Quest thing.
Oh,
they had like ambots and things.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you've got the is it Cataphracta or something for the Mechanicus? They have bots now as well.
But back when bots were bots and they existed, you would actually have like a programming list that you would program your bot to do at the start. It was all just like handwritten type of thing. So your bot, if no things within X, then walk forward. If no targets, then turn 90 degrees left. Or, you would set up your program beforehand and then just release it.
I
So
love that.
because they didn't have, obviously the whole thing was that AI is a terrible thing. You don't want them to have AI, so you just had to program a set of instructions into your bot and then deploy it and then hope that your instructions got it into a position where it was actually doing some good. Some little Hearthguard for the Swarfs and an Ancestor Lord. I'm very old.
We needed Ben on this.
Yeah, I did tell Ben that that I was going to do this. Ben's response was, "What, on the week I'm not here?" And I went, hey, you can come in. But I'm unboxing my new house. Hey, you do that then, Ben. That will teach
priorities,
you.
Man. Priorities.
Well,
So you tried to FOMO him.
Pretty much, 100%. He was so annoyed. So annoyed.
That's the best part.
Yep.
I am digging the range. It's very, very cool.
Guess up and find some more of the craziness. The
Ooh,
ultimate
Exonaut.
Yeah, so this is very similar to what a squat and exo armor used to look like. Only less eggy around the head. But otherwise, pretty spot on with twin plasma, because that'll teach you and everyone around you.
I love the boots. It is just super glued to the body. It's brilliant.
He's a violent deep sea diver.
Wow,
that's a picture.
But I can clearly see top and bottom there.
Yeah.
But whenever I click on it and then open it, it's cropped.
Yeah. But you see the one you're opening there, Jerry, is you're opening the thumbnail, which is full.
Yes.
And tiny.
But when I open this one, it's cropped.
Yeah.
But there is an uncropped version that exists somewhere in this website. We just can't see it.
Very tiny.
So, and then the ultimate entity set. And this is, I think, the real joy of this. The just insane batshittery that has come out of Marcus's mind, essentially.
It's like an orc and a Tyranid had a baby.
Well, that's what happens when squats get corrupted. That there was the little squatlet in exo armor, and now it's gone wrong. It's not right, and this is why those Hearth worlds should be bombed just into submission, because they've gone completely Pete Tong. He is very fond of his eyeballs.
Mm-hmm. He is a bit, yeah.
I couldn't see that.
Yeah. Hey.
Ow.
See what you
say I'm bad.
Well, you are bad. We'll finish off with a couple of.
Ooh, I like the little Chaosy Lord.
The Chunkinator. Oh, Maximus.
Yeah, I like that. I want that.
He's here to do his best.
I want that.
This was a period when Chaos Squats, or it's obviously not from that period because it's modern, but it's from a homage from the Chaos Squat period where they took squats and chaosified them. And they did the same for dwarves. So you would get like teeny tiny little chaos warriors, little fat stumpy chaos warriors. They were great for fantasy. And then GW decided that they needed to make the chaos dwarves look different. So they give them that Persian theme, which I've never been a fan of. I preferred the idea that regular dwarves got chaosified and not that it was a whole separate race of Persian dwarves that we hadn't really seen before. And then obviously 40k, they never got a chance to go past that because the range got squatted. Fanar. He's quite good.
I like that.
There's a little squatting. Oh, sorry. Eggbot exosuit set.
Oh, he's a happy chappy.
He's really happy to be here.
Yeah, the Chunkinator. So, orc and Eggbot armor.
Yeah. I like to think that he uses those two plasmas on his shoulders, not for war, but for cooking.
It's entirely possible. We'll finish off with the Here We Go-esque Eggbot orcs. The thing that gets me is so many of these are just one-piece resin casts. There's not a huge amount of assembly on them. And where there is, it's things like this where gun barrels or the backpack may have to be slapped on. I mean, there's a mech boy squad that your opponent will not have a notion what's coming at them.
Because neither do they.
Yep.
There's something I was always told, if it looks like you're getting into a fight, look crazier than the other guy, you'll be fine.
Like Doc Tavis.
Yeah.
He's got a grin from ear to ear. He's got so many teeth. He must be rich. Somebody should mug him. If I mug him, I mean batter the ever-living Jesus out of him. Anyway, Wereweevil Miniatures started doing little collaborations with other sort of independent sculptors as well. So it'll be interesting to see what comes forth from that and where the range goes, including that Spires of Apophis game, where the whole idea is to corrupt or stave off corruption within the spire. So I just really like it. I don't know what it is they're feeding the people in Australia. Well, weevils, clearly.
All those Piranzacs.
Sending them a bit wrong. Right. Enough of the indie. We're going to take a quick swish, and when we return, we'll check out some news.